What's up, Hope Dealers? Kevin and Adrian here from Udaipur, India. We're staying at a beautiful place. I don't know how much of it you can see, but we'll drop some B-roll in. But this place is world class.
It's really like the service never stops, and it's just beautiful.
So they were telling us that one wedding here, and they have them all the time. This is a wedding destination place for wealthy Indians. One wedding here is millions of dollars. We're just staying here one night, which cost us about
a lot,
$600-700. Which, it's not chump change, but it's not the $30 that we paid last night for our homestay.
Right, which was also amazing.
Yeah, in different ways. So, but we're just talking about how can there be this much opulence, and then when you go outside of this 30-acre compound, it's just abject poverty and pollution, and right?
Yeah, and so I was telling Kevin earlier, just that's what I've thought about so much on this trip is like, is that okay? Like, what's the deal with so much wealth and then so much poverty? Like, how do we?
And then how do you not feel guilty for enjoying a night in a place like this? Or, I mean, we have food, water, and shelter, some of the basic stuff that a lot of people in this country don't have. This country's approaching 1.8 billion people.
Surpassed China. I mean, I remember years and years saying they're going to surpass China, and now it's actually happened. And there are people everywhere.
Everywhere.
I mean,
it's a crowded
there's
place.
No personal space here, but here there is. I know.
So here there is. So the wealth of the wicked's laid up for the just.
Yeah.
But then the just got to know what to do with it.
Yes.
Because it's not just to consume and to enjoy, though that's part of it. He gives us, by he I mean God, gives us all things richly to
enjoy. Yes. And so, that's one thing, the definition of happy that I talk about is enjoying your joy.
Right.
And, he says in his word that he does give us all things richly to enjoy.
Yeah.
And so, man, we have richly enjoyed our time here today.
We have.
So much, just so much peace. We've had great conversation, but you just told everybody how much you paid for this. And I'm sure some people are like about ready to fall out of their chair.
Yeah.
Others do this kind of thing all the time.
Right. Oh, we stay at the Ritz for $1,000 a night
like
or more.
Yeah. But for us, this is like, wow, such a splurge for our 30th wedding anniversary.
Right.
And this was actually gifted to us.
Yes, and thank you, by the way.
But why do I feel the need to say that?
Because I think there's been like abuses of the prosperity message.
Yeah.
People have abused that message for their own self-gain. But then there's people who use that truth in Scripture. I mean, prosperity is a Bible word, so we need to use that word.
So, one thing I was thinking about is the people who really have such a problem with the prosperity message. If you really think about it, that's from a scarcity mindset, like as if there's not enough to go around. Like, like you have to choose either or.
Right.
And I think that's what I've kind of been processing since we've been here, just to see, the palaces. We visited all these palaces. It just makes me want to cry because you see the inlaid rubies and emeralds and marble everywhere, and then you just walk out and just see all this need. It's like, what if we took some of that and gave it to everybody? Like, what?
I think the problem with that, though, is that prosperity destroys a fool, and you can redistribute the wealth evenly amongst the world, and it's a matter of time. The people with wisdom will have it again, have the wealth again.
True.
The people that don't have wisdom won't have it
True.
again. So, a wild peacock just landed in a tree over there. Pretty cool. Nice.
Speaking of luxury.
Yeah, right. And so, but here's a thought. Here's my thought. Jesus said in Luke 4:18, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me because He's anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor." set at liberty them that are bruised. He went on down this list of amazing things, but the first thing he said was to preach the gospel, the good news, to the poor.
To the poor.
He didn't say to feed the poor, though we should. He didn't say to pass out used clothes to the
Right.
poor.
Or redistribute
Or
all the
redistribute
marbles.
all the marbles.
All the marble. All the marble. I just saw these chunks of marble laying on the side of the road. They're building this gate, and we asked, what is it? Oh, it's just a gate.
Just a gate, a marble, beautiful white marble.
And then,
gate.
like, why? Like, and then there's all these people.
But whoever's building the gate is employing people.
That's true.
That's providing for their families, and they're using the resources that they dig right out of the ground here.
Yeah.
So I think the deal is we're not called to alleviate the suffering of the poor as much as we're called to eradicate poverty.
So break that down. How
I know,
is
it's
that
a
different?
big thought.
Well, it's a mindset.
It is
Eradicating
a mindset.
poverty as a mindset. Because if
Yeah.
we can do that, people will rise up because we're all made in the image of God.
Yes.
And so when we just can help give people the word works. It brings light
Yes.
into their lives. And that's really what it is, you know.
That's right.
We were laying by the pool earlier, and I was just thinking about even this trip. I was thinking, you know, our partners in our amazing church family gifted
Yes.
us a trip of a lifetime to this,
Yeah.
and they said, you know, you can go anywhere, and we chose India. And, you know, we could have done Italy or Ireland. And a couple times I've been like, oh, should we?
I know she's had a little bit of deli belly. She's better today.
And I was like, we should have gone to
She's
Italy.
like, I could be eating pasta right now.
But really, today, it was just another reminder that God knows what we want, even more than we know what we want. And He led us to
Yeah.
come here
Yes.
for a trip of a lifetime because we've labored in this land, and we just wanted to see it from a different perspective.
Yeah, it's like we've never like enjoyed it. We've always been working, and then we came here just to enjoy it, to see the beauty.
Oh, and
and
it's
it's
just-
a beautiful place.
It's blowing our minds. Like
Yeah.
it's beyond anything we could have wanted because God knows what you want more than you know what you want.
Yes.
And you know, He told you a long time ago. He said to seek. Your job is to seek Him first,
Yeah.
and that His job
Just to add all these things to
and
us.
to not get those two mixed up.
Yeah.
And even in coming here, we were seeking God. We were like, you know, He knows Italy or whatever, and I just think that's so cool. And maybe that's part of the answer too with prosperity is teaching people how to hear from God, because then when He leads us and directs our steps,
Right.
you know, He directs our steps to prosperity, and He says that
Good thing.
pleasure is in His right hand, you know?
Yeah, right. Yeah, because the steps of a good man are ordered of the Lord.
Yeah.
And there's some people that are not good. I mean,
Yeah.
you run into them, we run into them. They're everywhere, but there are good people everywhere
Yes,
too. We met
yes.
this amazing carpet salesman yesterday, and he sells pashmina scarves, and he was just the sweetest
So
guy.
sweet.
He like gave me this, $100 scarf,
Yeah. Wow.
just generous, and I mean,
invited us to his home in Kashmir.
yeah.
I want to go.
Which, of course, Indian hospitality is legendary. They take you in
like your family.
Yeah, and I love one of the things I love about this place is she said, "This is your happy place." Everybody here is pretty happy and
It's sweet.
sweet and easygoing and kind and have such a servant's heart. Yeah, how
There's
can you
nothing
not
like it
like
anywhere
it
else
here?
in the world.
We just feel so blessed and fortunate that of all the places in the world, the Lord called us to our favorite place in the world, India and Mobile. I mean, we love Alabama.
We
and
always
love-
said
Yeah,
when we
India.
moved to India that if we ever, could live anywhere back in the States,
Back in the
it
States,
would be
it'll be
Mobile.
Mobile.
And
It's
so
just like we get the best of both worlds. Pretty cool.
you're getting all sappy. But it's just, and that's prosperity. This
Yeah.
is the real.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a little bit of therapy, but not as much as some people. Some people live on it, and that's fine. If you need it, get it. We probably need more than we've gotten. But there's no amount of money that can buy this. And that's true prosperity.
And I think it's also being able, Paul said, I know how to be abased and to
Yep.
abound.
Yeah.
Because we enjoyed the $30 a night homestay last night just as much.
Right.
It was a totally different experience, but it was amazing.
Yeah.
And then this has been so great.
So we know how to abase, we know how to abound, but we can do all things through
Yes.
Christ who strengthens us. So we can go anywhere, do anything, anywhere he leads, we follow. Anything he feeds, we swallow, right? Just got to keep it down.
Yes. Something else about this that I was thinking of is, we've given away all that we've had a couple times in our lifetime.
Yep.
And,
Everything. We gave away an
everything.
entire house and everything in it
Yeah.
once.
Yeah, and we've given away cars and all kinds of things. And so I love what people have said before, don't judge.
Someone's harvest until
Yeah.
you see their seed.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's good.
And so just making sure that things don't have you, that you have them,
Yeah.
and that you use them.
Yes.
I mean, even this whole time that we're resting,
right.
we're constantly dreaming and talking and, God's,
Praying.
like talking to us about the church and about
Yeah.
plans for India and in our books and different things. And,
Yep.
and so even in our
Yeah.
downtime and doing all of this,
Mm.
we're still here to serve
Be
him.
still and know that I am God.
Yes.
I heard my friend Joel say a couple of weeks ago, we were hanging out with him in Jackson, Mississippi, and he said, you're giving, you got to think about the four things that your giving does. Number one, how your giving affects God. Like when Cornelius in Acts 10 gave an offering, it went up to God as a memorial. Number two, how does it affect you? And if your giving doesn't affect you, it's probably not going to affect anybody else or God very much. And it's not about the amount, it's about the percentage, it's about the sacrifice. It's not about the size of the amount, it's the size of the sacrifice. Not equal amount, equal sacrifice. Anyway, what does your giving do to God? What does your giving do for you? What does your giving do for the kingdom? And then I can't remember the fourth thing. It was good though. Should get Joel's book. What does your giving do for others? Oh, that's the kingdom.
I don't know.
What does your giving do for eternity? Hey, just wanted to hang out with you. It's been fun and just chatting and letting you in on some of our conversations that we've had today, and talk about it, with your family, with your friends. Put some comments and questions down.
Yeah.
We don't have all the answers, but we have these conversations and try to figure it out. Also, we'd love to hear what you had to say and see how you process this whole thing. I mean, how much is too much?
Yeah.
How much is too little? And who are we to judge those things? So do you have ideas about, you should never make more than this amount, or you should never make less than this amount? I know we have ideas about that, but I remember when I first came to pastor the church 20 years ago, I thought, I'll never need to make more than $250,000 a year. Now, I still don't make $250,000 a year 20 years later, but my point is, when we put limits on a limitless
Maybe
God,
that's why we don't.
I need to
Thanks
repent
a
of
lot,
that.
honey.
Repent. But then some people say, well, if I was more blessed, I'd be more generous.
Yeah.
But maybe we need to be more generous first, so we'll be more blessed.
Yeah.
Not that you're buying God's favor or anything like that, but when you just live a life of generosity, I think God's like, hey, there's somebody like me. I can trust that guy, that gal with more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just some thoughts.
I like it. I want to continue this conversation. We'll
do it.
keep just processing even while we're here. I know God will just keep giving us more light on the subject, and I pray that He will for you as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So one thing that I know that we've come to this conclusion is shame is never from God. Guilt is
come on.
never from God. And
That's right.
so, He taught you that lesson one time with your Rolex. Because you were ashamed of it and then you lost it.
Somebody gave me a Rolex, and I felt embarrassed to wear it because I lived in Calcutta at the time, one of the poorest cities in the world. And I thought, man, I got at that time, $5,000 or $6,000 on my wrist, more than some people would ever see in a lifetime that lived there.
Yeah.
And ended up losing that watch, had it stolen. And I felt so guilty then for losing it.
So you felt guilty for having it.
Guilty
So the
for
devil
yeah.
just kind of got you on this side
He
and that
did.
side.
And so I'm like, oh God, I'm sorry, I lost this probably $10,000 watch, and somebody stole it from me. And the Lord said, next time, don't
That
be.
means there's going to be a next time.
Woo, come on. Next time, don't be ashamed of what I bless you with. So He's our Papa. He loves us. He loves you, and He just
Yes.
wants us to enjoy, richly enjoy all things that He gives us. Because I did not
He
add
adds,
that watch to
yes.
myself; it was added to me.
That's the thing.
And I wasn't mature enough to enjoy it, really. So,
Wow.
wow.
That's a good
That's
thought
convicting.
to end on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So go enjoy yourself.
Yes. Enjoy the blessings of God. He gave all of these things to you to richly enjoy.
Including your spouse.